Good morning, students. Today we will learn about ninth class reflection of light at plane surfaces. From this chapter, we will see some important concepts. Today we will try to cover few important topics that are Fermat's principle, rectilinear propagation of light, incident ray, reflected ray, and normal, measuring the angle of incidence. So these are the few concepts which we will try to cover in this video. So first one is Fermat's principle. Before going to learn about Fermat's principle, first of all we should know that the light always travels from one point to the another point, and it mostly chooses the straight line path. Light travels in the straight line path. So why it chooses the straight line path, again we will discuss later. So like this, light rays are traveling from one point to the another point, that is called as propagation of light. The traveling of light from one place to the another place is called as propagation of light. Okay, when light is traveling from one point to the another point, let us suppose here in the figure 1 I have shown you point A and point B. Suppose let us assume that the light rays is passing from point A to point B. So there are three ways or three paths are there for a light ray to travel from point A to point B. Three different paths are available for the light ray. Then what is the path that is chosen by the light ray to reach point B from point A? So here the light ray always selects that path which takes the least time to reach the point B. Always light ray chooses the path, it selects the path through which it can reach the point B in the lesser time. So here I have written here, when a light travels from one point to another point, it selects the path that takes the least time. It means what? The propagation of light will depend on time period. Propagation of light will depend on time period, and it is irrespective of the distance traveled. This principle is also known as principle of least time. Okay, this principle is generally called as Fermat's principle, where the light ray always selects the path which takes the least time to reach the destination point. So propagation of light depends on the time period but not on the distance traveled. This principle is called as Fermat's principle. This Fermat's principle is also known as principle of least time. Okay, this is the example. And while choosing the path, the light ray chooses the second path. Let us assume that this is the first path, this is the second path, and this is the third path. Okay, path number 1, this is the path number 2, and this is the path number 3. Let us take. So light ray chooses the path. Which path do you think that the light ray chooses here? The light ray chooses the second path so that it can reach the point B in least time. So because what is the difference here? The second path is the straight line path available for the light ray. The straight line path, you always remember that when the light ray chooses the straight line path, it can reach the destination point in the least time, whereas path number 1 and path number 3 are the curved paths are shown here. Hence the light ray chooses the straight line path so that it can reach point B in the lesser time. So as it is moving in the straight line path, it is traveling in a straight line path. This type of propagation of light is known as rectilinear propagation of light. Okay, when the light ray passing in the straight line path, this path is known as rectilinear propagation of light. Okay, that is light travels in the straight line. Light always chooses the straight line path. Now we will see what are the incident ray and what is the point of incidence. See in this picture, figure number 2, I have shown you one light ray which is coming from the source. Maybe here somewhere the source of light is there. So from the source of light, the light ray is coming. And this is, I have shown the plane here. We have learnt that the light from the source of light travels in a straight line. In any plane, the propagation of light is indicated by an arrow mark. This is known as light ray. Similarly, let us assume that in any plane, propagation of light is indicated by an arrow mark as I have shown you here. This is known as light ray. Okay, similarly, let us assume that the light ray travels from the source of light and falls on a plane. This is known as incident ray. This is known as incident ray. The point at which the light ray enters on a incident plane. The point at which light ray enters on a incident plane is known as, this point is known as point of incidence, or it is also called as incident point. Okay, the point at which the light ray enters on an incident plane, it is known as point of incidence. Okay, then see this figure. In all the topics related to light, every angle will be measured from the point of incidence to the normal. So this is the most important fact. When light ray is incident on a plane, a normal should be drawn at the point of incidence. So every angle will be measured from the point of incidence to the normal. So this is the most important factor. When light ray is incident on a plane, a normal should be drawn at the point of incidence. So now we will see what is normal. So this is the point of incidence. The incident ray is coming and falling on this incidence on the plane at this particular point, and this point is called the point of incidence. The line which is drawn perpendicular to the plane, and the line should be drawn from the point of incidence. That line which is drawn perpendicular to the plane of surface is known as normal, drawn at incident point. The line, this dotted line I have shown you here, this dotted line is called as normal here. This dotted line is drawn from the point of incidence and it is exactly 90 degrees to the plane of surface. This is called normal. Okay, this is called normal, and this is the incident ray, this is the point of incidence, and this is the horizontal plane, and here this is the dotted line is called as normal. Okay, and what is the angle of incidence? Our next term is about angle of incidence. The angle between the normal at the point of incidence, the angle between the normal at the point of incidence, this is the normal, and incident ray. The angle between the normal at the point of incidence and incident ray is called angle of incidence. Okay, this angle I have shown you here 30 degrees. This 30 degrees is the angle between the incident ray and the normal. Hence, this is called as angle of incidence or incident angle. We can also call it as incident angle. This angle always should be drawn, it should be always shown between the incident ray and the normal. This is very, very important, children. Remember, we should not measure the angle between the incident ray and here plane. This side you should not draw, always we should draw this side only towards the normal. Incident ray and towards the normal only we have to take that angle, and that angle is called as angle of incidence. Okay, we will meet in the next class. Thank you, children.